Have you noticed something strange lately? The interfaces look the same. The buttons are still there. You can still post your thoughts. You can still apply for that job. You can still send your payments on time. But nothing happens. No reach. No replies. No progress. It feels like you're speaking into a system that used to listen, but now simply ignores you. This is the new form of exclusion. It's quiet, it's invisible, and it's perfectly legal. They didn't ban you. They didn't delete your account. They just made you irrelevant. They locked the door and left the open sign hanging. Think of the YouTube homepage not as a feed, but as prime digital real estate. In 2024, this neighborhood was still open. Your screen was a grid. 10 visible slots for long-form stories. 10 chances for independent voices to exist. But real estate only becomes powerful when it's scarce. By early 2025, the grid began to shrink. 2 rows of 5 quietly became 2 rows of 3. And by 2026, the landscape became unrecognizable. Look at your screen now. 1 row, 2, maybe 3, long-form videos. Everything else? A massive block of shorts, engineered to keep you scrolling, not thinking. This wasn't an accident of design. It was an optimization of control. When available space drops from 10 slots to 2, diversity doesn't decline. It evaporates. You're no longer competing on quality. You're competing against corporations, networks, and algorithm-native golden boys. For the independent creator, the game didn't get harder. It was redesigned to make you disappear. You weren't banned. You were simply pushed out of frame. This pattern of exclusion doesn't stop at your screen. It has bled into the very walls you live in. In the old world, if you were rejected, you knew why. You received a letter, a reason, a human voice saying no. Today, the rejection is silent. You submit an application for a home and you wait. You check your bank's lending portal and you see it. Status, pending. Not denied, just pending. This is psychologically more effective than a no. It keeps you in a state of quiet hope, while the algorithm has already moved you to the bottom of the pile. You aren't being judged by a person. You're being scored by an AI that measures your relevance to a corporate yield. Institutional giants have turned housing into a financial instrument. They don't need tenants. They need predictable yields. If your digital footprint, debt ratio, or risk profile doesn't fit the model perfectly, the door never opens. You're not being denied a home because you can't afford it. You're being scored out of existence because you aren't profitable enough to the machine. No rejection letter. No explanation. Just a loading circle that never stops spinning. You are standing on the street, staring at an empty apartment, wondering why the world has suddenly become unavailable. We were promised convenience. What we got was dependency. Think about the things you think you own. Your phone, your car, your software. In reality, you are just a long-term tenant of your own life. Miss one payment, and your car decides winter is no longer your problem. Your heated seats shut off. Your professional tools expire and lock you out. Your digital library, the books and movies you bought, can vanish overnight. This isn't just about money, it's about leverage. When you owned things, you had a mental anchor, a foundation that didn't depend on a server's permission. Today, your home is owned by a fund that views your shelter as a yield-generating product. They can disable your access remotely. They can optimize your rent until it consumes half your existence. And if you leave, they don't lose anything. Someone else will be queued behind you. You are no longer a citizen with rights. You are a user with a subscription. And subscriptions are designed to be temporary. You aren't being banned from the economy. You're being downgraded. The door isn't just locked. You've been convinced that ownership was a mistake, and access was a privilege. The most disturbing part of being locked out isn't the loss. It's the silence that follows. When you are banned, there is conflict, a reason to fight, a sense of being a rebel. But when you are simply made irrelevant, there is only confusion. You look at your life and see a treadmill moving faster every year. You work 3 times as hard for half the results. Rent eats half your paycheck. Groceries take another quarter. Saving feels like a rumor from another century. Researchers call this survival mode. Your brain stops planning. The future collapses into the present. You stop dreaming of the home built from nothing. The soil beneath you becomes a financial weapon. And the most dangerous part, the system convinces you this is your fault. You feel like you are failing. But you need to understand something. You aren't failing. You are being optimized out. The system isn't broken. It's working as intended, prioritizing yields over your sustainability. To the algorithm, you aren't a person with a story. You are a data point too expensive to maintain. You're not pushed out violently. You're nudged to the margins, quietly, politely, efficiently, until you disappear from the model. If you're standing outside those locked doors, stop knocking. The machine counts on your desperation. It thrives on the hope that if you work harder or pay more, the lock will turn. It won't. The system has chosen its winners. The math is finalized. The exit isn't a request for permission. It's the moment you realize the game was never designed for you to win. When they lock you out, stopping is exactly what they expect. But the world outside the walls is still yours. Parallel systems aren't built on platforms. They're built late at night, between people who still trust each other. Stop trying to fix a system that views your sustainability as a bug. Turn away from the door. Start the fire where you stand. It might be small, it might be quiet. Once you light it, you'll realize the doors were never the point. You weren't banned. You were released from a system that no longer needed you. Welcome to the outside.